Hey guys, in this tutorial we're going to take a look at how to make a paracord dog leash. There are many different paracord dog leash designs out there, and this is one of the most basic ones, which results in a braided leash. I'm also going to show you how to add an overlay to the braid to make it a bit more bulkier and more colorful as well. First thing we're going to do is plan out our leash. We're obviously going to need a snap hook as well as two different colors for our leash if we are doing the overlay as well. Now at the top of the leash we're going to also make a loop for our hand so we can hold our leash, and we need to take into account that the snap hook as well as the loop that we are using for the leash both add to the final length of our leash. The bottom part of the loop as well as the splice which we're going to use to finish the braid add to the total as well. Now I've done a few calculations about the length of the leash or the cord that you will need for the leash, and I'm going to post the link to the calculations below. You can see the splice here where the braid is doubled. The first thing we need to do is fold our working cord in half and attach it to the snap hook using the lark's head knot. We're going to do this with both cords that we're going to use for the base, and I'll be back when I've done this as well. Now that we have two cords attached and 4 strands to work with, we're going to braid them. The braid starts by taking the top right cord, placing it through the middle on the left and back to the bottom on the right. Then we take the top left cord, we place it through the middle on the right and back to the bottom on the left. And again the top right goes through the middle on the left and back to the bottom on the right. And again the left goes through the middle on the right and back to the bottom on the left. It is a 2-step process, and after you've done a few, you need to pull on each of the cords to tighten up the braid. This is especially important at the start, so it gets a bit of a nicer look to it. And after that, we're simply going to continue our braid. I will be back when I've braided this to the length of the leash that I need. A little tip for you is that you can snap your hook onto a piece of rope or something and then attach it for easier braiding. I usually use a doorknob in order to make some tension on the braid. Once you've braided the braid until the length that you want and you have about half a foot left, we're going to secure the braid through the use of a crown knot, but you can also use the duct tape if you don't want to use a crown knot. I will again leave the tutorial on making the crown knot in the description below, so you can use it if you need it. With this knot done, we can now make the loop at the top of the leash. I'm just going to resecure the knot a bit. I think the knot looks nice now, so I'm going to start making the loop. And all we're going to do is bend the leash back to get our loop. At this point, we have 4 cords at the end, and we have 4 cords which we braided. And we're going to assign each cord to 1 cord in the braid, which we're going to follow with our ends. And this is basically a simple splice. I'm going to use a lacing needle to make my job a bit easier. So I've attached the lacing needle, and now I'm going to simply start following one of the cords. Basically, I'm going to double up the braid for a little while to secure this loop at the top. As you can see, the braid is now doubled where I've followed the cord. And I'm going to do this with all 4 cords until I have done it at least 5 times. So this is the doubled braid, or a splice as you would call it. And now we can simply cut the ends, and basically our leash is complete. This is a perfectly functional leash, but I am also going to show you how to make an overlay for this leash as well. To start our overlay, we're going to attach 2 additional cords to the snap hook. This gets a bit messy at the top, so you're going to need to find a method that works well for you. I'm showing one that works okay for me, but you can do whatever you feel like looks nice, because the top does get a bit crowded. Basically, I'm making a variation of a lark's head knot here. And once we've secured the basic cords needed for the overlay, we're again simply going to braid them the same way we did the first layer, which means the top right goes through the middle on the left and back to the bottom on the right, and the top left goes through the middle on the right and back to the bottom on the left. Just make sure that the overlay is a bit tighter so it doesn't slip up and down the braid, and just follow the natural flow of the diamond braid in order to lock in your braid. Once you reach the top, it is time to end the overlay, and I'm going to make a simple lanyard knot here, which I'm going to use as the finishing knot. Naturally, you can work in a Turk's head knot or a crown knot finish, or anything you feel like doing. I'm just showing the lanyard knot here because it's a simple way to finish the leash. And I'm going to again leave link in the description so you can use it if you don't know the lanyard knot. Once we've tied the lanyard knot, we're also going to feed the loop at the top. So the lanyard knot is going to wrap around the leash. And now all we need to do is tighten up the lanyard knot and adjust it a bit. I've done my lanyard knot, and all there's left to do is to trim the ends and the leash is complete.